Hello, hello, hello. We are, I believe, at lesson 4. My goodness, already 4 weeks in. And guess what? We are talking about verbal messages. Yeah. I think that this is going to be pretty cool. This is going to be a pretty cool section because not only are we talking about verbal, meaning coming from out of your mouth, meaning talking, but I think we're going to talk about email and internet and texting, because even though it's not necessarily someone talking directly to you, but when you read that internet message, when you see something from someone directly to you, you really can hear it. It's a mental thing, you know? When somebody's texting you, like they text you in all caps, you know, you feel like they're yelling at you. And yelling really is a thing about hearing. So we want to include that because I think it's important for us to understand the importance of verbal meanings, not only from how we communicate with one another speaking, but also how we speak through the internet, how we speak through the email, how we speak through the text, how we speak through social media. It means a lot. I want to mention the Kanye West and the president meeting in the Oval Office is a classic example of how people interpret verbal messages. And what you're going to see in your textbook, and I believe you're in chapter 5 this week, in your textbook, it's going to talk about several things. We know that. It has to, because we need to give you all the information about what is the constructs of verbal messaging. But what I want to talk a little bit about is that messages have meaning, and it has different types of meaning. So when people are saying things, it could be connotative, which is a figuratively saying something, or it could be denotative, which is the actual literal meaning of something. And if you listen, go back and listen to the Kanye West, I call it a rant, but listen to it. He has different meanings and things that he's saying that could mean something to people in popular culture, but it could mean something totally different to someone who has no idea what the jargon, what he's talking about. So understand that when you're talking, when you're speaking to someone, that your words have meaning. And they come from your perspective, which means that your race, your gender, your culture, how you were raised, those things impact how your messages and what you say, how it forms meaning for you. And it also forms meaning for the person that's receiving it. So that's very important for you to take a look at as you're reading chapter 5. It also covers in chapter 5 some of the isms: sexism, racism, ageism. That's a big thing now. People are very concerned about the differences in the generations and what language and messages mean to young people versus old, to baby boomers versus generation X, Y, Z. So that's important for you. If you want to be a better communicator, these are things that you have to think about as you are forming your own messages. And then how does that apply in the workplace? I mean, many of you are in a workplace that has different cultures. It's very diverse. It has different age groups. Of course, you have male and female, different cultures, different ways people were brought up. How is it then that you can communicate with your colleagues, with the people that you work with, understanding that they bring their own perspective and you're bringing yours? So how then can you help the two to work well together? And that is what you're going to learn in chapter 5. Also, how you respond, how you confirm or disconfirm. Someone's talking to you and how you either talk over them or jump to conclusions or say nothing in return. How you confirm or disconfirm them and what they're saying to you. That's also in chapter 5. So we have a lot to cover. I don't want to waste any more time. I want you to get into the chapter, and I'll see you in lesson 5.